You mentioned it earlier on, 6 weeks out from the Olympia, you were on the bathroom floor crying. Mm-hmm. Can you take me through the story of that day, where your mind was at, what life was like at that time, and sort of what the texture of your own existence was like that led up to that point?
Yeah, for sure. It was Olympia. I'd been prepping for weeks. A lot going on in my life. Something happened within my family that was really stressful that I'm not going to touch on, but it was greatly impacting us going forward and causing a lot of stress and anxiety in myself and my whole family. And we had just moved to Florida, all this shit going on, still fears about my health, and I had gotten a sign of my health going wrong. It's inflammation in my shins. I get edema. So I'm getting this edema in it, all this personal stuff on the side, and it was just, I didn't speak about anything. It was just like, okay, wake up, do cardio, go to the gym, go to work, do this, do that, just don't think about it, put it down, push it down, push it. And I kept doing that. And then I think with my fiance, she was noticing I was a little bit off. And that's why, like, having good people around you is fucking everything when you have like a stressful life. And she just knew something was off, and she's like, are you good? Like, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm good. She asked me again, she's like, are you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. Like, and then I was like in the bathroom, she came in, like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah. And she asked me one more time, she's like, are you, like, look at me, are you okay? And I just started bawling, and I had no idea. I didn't know I was that stressed out. I just was like numb, and I just started bawling, like hit the floor, was just sobbing. I was just like, I just feel like the world's crashing down on me right now. I feel like all this shit's going on externally, and I'm just trying to focus on the Olympia. I've won 2, I have to be better. I'm getting so close, I feel behind, like all this shit's going on. Now I have this business, all this chaos going on in my life, and I just like, I don't know if I can handle this. And she's just like, yeah, fuck yeah, like of course you feel like that, like no shit. And she's like, I don't know why, like you can share this with me, like the world is on your shoulders. It's fucking stressed out right now, and it should be. This is a lot of opportunity in front of you, and if you want to quit, you can, but I know you, and I know you won't. And right now, you just need to sit in this, cry, let it out. I'm here with you, but I know you're going to get out from this. You're going to go to the gym, you're going to kill your workout, you're going to wake up, and you're going to keep doing that. But this is normal part of what you're going through. She was literally like, you don't think Michael Jordan ever broke down and felt like he couldn't handle the stress that was on him, like building the NBA into what it was, not even just his team? I was like, fuck, like, yeah, he didn't talk about it though. And she was like, well, fuck yeah, then none of them knew, no men know how to talk about their emotions properly. And it just like, she just like built this confidence in me. I was just like, fuck yeah, of course, like this is a huge pressure, there's a lot going on, and I'm stressed. What's wrong with that? I'm not gonna let it control me, but I'm allowed to feel this moment right now. And that was just like, wow, like I can lean on people are there to help me, I can share how I feel, and someone's gonna actually make me feel better. Because my whole life it was just bottle everything up, you can handle it all by yourself, you're a man, you can handle this shit. And I was just like, no, like I'm allowed to feel, but who I am is not gonna be controlled by these feelings. So it was just a huge moment, I mean, and in our relationship too, like everyone is with a family alone. Like I have stress, having to provide for a family is like the ultimate. And the men who feel like they have to provide and like the world is on their shoulders, they don't understand that like their wife and their family wants to help them. And it was a really important moment for my personal growth, champion growth, relationship growth. And I mean, my dad is still like my number one role model, but he didn't ask for help. I had to really learn that that's not normal. That's not me. And I had to accept that.
It seems like a big part of it is finding a partner who's prepared to see vulnerability as a strength rather than a weakness.
For sure. Yeah. But she's also seen both sides. She's seen like the utmost resilience of what I've been through. And like, she's like, I don't know. She's like, something's going to happen to you this year because something happens every year, but it's probably not going to affect you. She's like, it'll stress you out, but you're still going to win the Olympia because I know you can do it. Because I've shown her that proof. I've shown her that, and now I've also shown the emotional side. And she's like, okay, yeah, he's going to fucking break down and cry in front of me, but he's going to get up tomorrow and get back to work. So it's like, it's that yin and yang of being able to like complement the masculine with the feminine and intertwine it in the right balance out, whatever works for you without kind of holding you back. And that's honestly part of I could have 1,000 bullet points under champion mentality, but I used to look up to people, and I still do, like Michael Jordan, but that's not fucking me. That's not how I'm going to be a champion forever. He wanted to kill everyone and fucking took stuff personally, everything with a battle to the death of being the best. And like, I don't feel like that, but that's okay. I can still be a champ. There's no rules to being a champion. The champion makes his own rules and rides out the wave like that.
What does pressure is a privilege mean?
I think I first heard it from Tim Grover, which is someone who kind of like, his book Relentless put my mindset into like the focus on my mindset in competing rather than just my physical body, because I knew that's what it would take to like get to the next level. And I think after winning an Olympia, I was like, oh fuck, like I just showed my cards. People know what I'm capable of. Now there's no one I got to beat. There's no like second place, third place, like flow. It's like, no, you're the best, and unless you're the best, we just forget about you. So it was like this pressure I felt on myself, and it was coming externally for a while. And I was trying to like understand how I could gravitate that a little bit better without it kind of bringing me down and slowing down my progress. And I had to kind of function into the reality that the pressure was really coming from myself rather than externally, and that it's a good pressure. It's a pressure to be better and to become the best version of myself. And it's something that if I choose to use it properly, it's going to push me to be a better version of myself, to grow mentally, physically, my relationships, however I want it to let me grow, if I choose to take control of the aspects I have control over. So in essence, the more pressure you have on you, and if you take it as a privilege, it's a choice to put your perception as a privilege rather than a burden. And by taking the power back in that choice, it pushes you in a direction of being better rather than holding you back. The beginning of my career was just, I never even had aspirations to be Mr. Olympia when I started. I just loved to train, loved to bodybuild. And then once I started to get that pressure on me, that started to fade a bit because I was taking in so much outside noise, and I stopped doing it for the right reasons of why I started, and just the fact that I love it and I enjoy pushing my body to the limits. So that affected me for a bit. But even like my first ever Olympia win, because of other stuff I had gone through, I actually didn't even really enjoy it. Because of like stress of my health and pressure, something I had gone through the year before, all this like not being present and suppressing all my like fears I had around it, I just like battled through it, got there, and I was like, it's over. Like, I just won an Olympia. This is this goal I've been chasing like for 6-7 years specifically in the league. I have it, and now why do I feel like I'm missing something? And I think I kind of uncovered that I was suppressing all this pressure, all this fear of my health, all these other aspects, and in doing so I was also suppressing my ability to feel joy and excitement and the positive side of things. You always hear you can't like selectively numb emotions. You either pretty much numb everything or you feel all of it, and I was definitely a numbing kind of guy. I was like, fuck it, don't feel it, push it aside, compartmentalize and get to work. And I was just like, okay, no, this isn't right, something's got to change. And those 2 years, came second the year before I got sick, won that Olympia and didn't enjoy it. This is like, all right, physical stuff is down, I won. I got to focus on my mental side right now, because if I'm doing this, I want to love it. I started because I love it, and I want to keep doing it because I love it.
Like 4 weeks ago, I was in the bathroom crying, honestly sobbing with my girlfriend. Just like, felt like a lot was getting to me. It was a lot of pressure. Felt like things were just kind of hard and tough, and I wanted to just quit, to be honest. I felt like I'd lost a lot of faith in myself, and it was getting really hard to just push through. And I didn't quit. Obviously, we're here today, but this morning after prejudging, I had that same cry in the bathroom, but this one was a cry of gratitude and pride that I had pushed through and gotten through that. And it's these moments, it's this journey, and like I felt this before having the trophy around my neck. It's the journey, it's the experience, it's knowing that you pushed past times where you wanted to quit and you got shit done. You pushed through it. So to everyone out there whose dreams are scaring you, whose dreams make you want to quit, just don't quit. It's good. Your dreams should be big, they should be scary. Just keep pushing through. I have this thing I say, champion mentality. It's not about winning, it's not about a trophy, it's about having no quit. It's about giving everything you have so that when you show up on game day, before the results are over, you're proud of yourself and you know the work you put in. And that's all I can feel right now, just pride and gratitude to be here on this stage under these lights again. This will never get old, and I'm just so grateful to have the opportunity to do what I love.
I've heard you say that winning is not what I once thought it was. I have found it to be much more complex than our traditional definitions of success. What's that mean?
It comes from when I was younger, just like wanting more stuff, a lot of external stuff, a lot of success, again, things out of your control. I wanted like circumstances and objects. I wanted success thinking of something I could the world could give me rather than something I could give myself. And I look at winning as success, it's kind of one and the same. And there's this awesome quote by, I think it's Jim Carrey, and it goes, I wish for the world to realize all of their dreams so that they can realize they don't make them complete. And he's talking about that most people's dreams are very like external, like champions, like they want to win a medal, they win a trophy, they want a nice car and all this stuff. Then you get it. And when you have everything, you realize this isn't what I wanted. I don't feel complete right now. And I have the amazing opportunity in my life to have accomplished so many of my dreams and realize that there's still a void missing there. The more money I get, the more titles I get, the more I get, it's not filling me up more. But then I discovered that over time, like It's the effort, it's the journey. It's like suffering through time that I don't want to be at the gym or why I want to quit on my diet, and I push myself, and every single moment, every day leading up to the show, and I win all those moments. That's winning. That's like winning in life continuously every day. And through that journey, being able to build my relationships, not sacrifice them for winning, be able to make myself a better person, not a more stressed out, anxious person, all that stuff coming together, I've already won before I have a trophy in my hands. When I stand on stage, I haven't quit on a workout, I haven't quit on a cardio session. My girlfriend still loves me in the background. She didn't hate me for neglecting her for the last 3 months of prep. I'm like, I won. You know, like I feel fucking good right now. And if I lose, am I going to leave and be really sad and like cry and like grieve that loss? Absolutely. But I'm still going to be proud of everything I put in. And at the end of the day, that's all I can control. And to me, that's winning.
And most individuals, the reason you're not as successful as you want to be is because you're afraid of success. You're afraid of what success is going to bring. There's a certain level of success we all want, we can all handle. But you know what happens when you become more successful, what happens? The pressure starts to mount. The voices around you start to grow. Let me tell you something about pressure. Pressure is a privilege. It is a freaking privilege. The best individuals thrive under pressure. They look for pressure situations. Pressure defines who we are and who we're not, but it also defines who we can become. If somebody puts you under a pressure situation, that means they believe in you. Do you believe in yourself? And you know how you handle pressure is you put yourself under pressure situations under a daily basis. The only difference between pressure and stress is pressure you decided not to deal with. And we have pressure every single day. So if you deal with that pressure every single day, the likelihood of it turning into stress is less. But if you don't deal with pressure every single day, it turns into stress. And you know what happens when it turns into stress? You stop believing in yourself. When was the last time you bet on yourself?
Pressure separates the champions from the contenders, the first from second. Pressure separates the greatest from the great. Most people crumble under pressure. Winners thrive under pressure.
Without pressure, there would be no diamonds. And without pressure, there would be no greats. Pressure brings the greatest among us into the light. Without challenges, you would never grow.
Don't you get it? Challenges strengthen you. Competition makes you better. Setbacks make you wiser. Face your challenges.
Listen to me. There's a saying that you should burn into your brain. If you are searching for that one person who will change your life forever, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. That is the only person that's going to save you or ruin you. You are the only soul on this planet that is going to determine your worth. So when those tough moments come, when everything is hard, when you are stressed, when you're under immense pressure and you feel like you can't take it anymore, look in the mirror and know you can. You can take one more punch. Life isn't going to keep you down that easy. You have more inside you. You have fight inside you. You have more.
Gentlemen, please take the first place award, the Olympia gold medal, the check for $50,000, and the title of 2022 Classic Physique Olympia champion to our winner. And still, Classic Physique champ, four-time Olympian, Chris Bumstead.
All right. The standard once again reigns supreme, Chris Bumstead. The fans in the Zappos theater going crazy.
Folks, how about a big hand for your runner-up? Chris, 4 times. How's it feel?
Feels damn good. These are getting hard to explain, to be completely honest. It feels really beautiful being up here again.
He'll be back. Congratulations, Chris.
People's Champion Award.
Folks, you probably answered yourselves about how do you get this Hall of Fame folks? I got that without my own. 545. That's right, folks, from your cradle. This is what you ready to look at. Trust me. If you invite us on the way, I'll do this later. Right about there. Okay. All right, Kelly. Yeah. W-10.